Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Talking Insights, the podcast that brings you the bright ideas and the new trends of the Insights community. For this series about the SMR Award winners, we will be exploring the projects that are shaping the Insights industry and making a real difference in the world. That's just what this episode is about, the difference and the perceptions. Today we're joined by Eugenia Blizniuk, CEO and founder of Greatest Research. The team won the Best Social Impact Research Award with their project about breaking stereotypes with prime time, how The Bachelor redefined perceptions of veterans with disabilities. It's a very touching and inspiring project, and one that combines storytelling and data to teach you that your role in research is more than just looking at numbers, but also you can drive social change. Jane, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the Talking Insights podcast. I'm Antonio. First and foremost, congrats on the awards that you just won at the SMR Awards, the Best Social Impact Research Awards, and the project that you created and the team created about the perception on the veterans and the veterans with disabilities. What inspired you to focus on this and to focus on the veterans with disabilities in Ukraine? What's the inspiration there?
Well, thank you for your congratulations. And the main point is quite painful for me and my country. It is full-scale war. And the situation when our society is not, in particular, ready to welcome back our veterans because they are different. They are kind of war heroes, but how to communicate with them in terms of common social interaction. And I'm super grateful to media group which conducted the TV show The Bachelor in such a brave way to show the veteran with disabilities as a main hero and as a main treasure of this TV show, of this format. And that let us think about how to measure this impact and how to underline the importance of the common human attitudes to our war veterans, because in a while I suppose we will have a lot of our warriors back, and they will become our husbands, our dads, our sons, our mothers and girlfriends. We have a lot of women in the military forces of Ukraine. So this conversation looked for me not easy, but absolutely necessary to provide this media group with this kind of support and informational kind of underlying highlighting of really big and significant social impact.
And so you partner with Starlight Media, is that right? Can you explain me what the project was? How did it work, and how did The Bachelor enter in the whole project?
Yeah. So we've met with our partner Starlight Media in the beginning of the project preparation before this TV show went on air, and we decided to make a baseline measurement before this project started, and then to measure afterwards, and to compare how public sentiments was changed. And we had moved quite fast because the launch of this TV show should be in a couple of weeks when we discussed this idea. So we did our best to provide the data and to collect the data really fast in a couple of days. And then afterwards we did the second wave, just to understand how this emotional story touch the people's hearts.
Okay, so basically you collected data before and after the show was aired,
Right.
right?
Right.
Was there any or unexpected insights from this data?
Yeah, I would say that it was quite emotional for me as well. because in the first wave, we found out that people in general, of course, deeply appreciate the braveness and everything military forces are doing for our country. But when we were asking if they can imagine the relations with this kind of person, or I don't know, maybe friendship, maybe personal relations, romantic relations, they started to hesitate because it's really something new for us. In Europe, we had no such a war since the middle of last century. It was really a wow moment for me that people are not ready to see just human beings in these veterans. And after this television show, this Bachelor had a huge resonance in Ukraine. Everybody were discussing the flow, the hero, the everything. And afterwards, exactly this readiness to make a step inside the relationship was significantly higher. And I believe that this is a huge, nice, bright illustration how public communication and big shows or big projects, media projects, may impact such as social norms.
Right. And do you feel like, and obviously, physical disabilities are always more, I would say, easy to perceive, but there's also like the non physical disabilities, the more, of the mind and so on. Do you think that these types of projects will shine a light on these types of disabilities and make people understand that after this type of situations, the wars and these types of veterans, will they understand that, yeah, people can come back and seem okay, but deep down they're not okay, right?
Yeah, 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 absolutely right. You're so right. I believe that despite it is quite tough questions to discuss with people, we should do that. And I believe that our case, I mean, case of Gradus, may encourage research company to help to underline these shifts, and it might be really effective and really significant. And I believe that, uh, this is not the last case in our country when, in such a, let's say, show business way, to discuss this kind of not easy questions.
After the show premiered and aired, did you saw an increase of this of kinds of conversations or societal shifts? I mean, we kind of already talked about it, but do you see an increase in these types of conversations? And what lessons can media organizations and TV shows and production teams and everyone that's usually involved in the showbiz can learn from this approach to this type of, like this show did?
I believe, I definitely know that for showbiz organizations, as you said, ratings and, amount of viewers and followers are in the middle always. But I can definitely tell you that this kind of show, especially in Ukraine now, are really on the top ratings. This is highly on demand among the population, and public communication and discussion after The Bachelor was really interesting because there were people pros and contras and how to communicate and what should not we do with the veterans, to not to hurt them, not to underline some kind of things, because Ukraine is not we just learning how to become a post-war society and how to build all these interactions, where we had a lot of new social groups with really big traumas, war traumas in a different way. You are absolutely right. This is not just about physical disabilities. This is about children who left homes on the east of our country, about people who have no place to live in, etc. And each of these group might be in the middle of a similar show.
Right. How can insight professionals learn or apply more of these lessons from this project to their own day to day life and day to day projects and create more social impacts on their work? How can they learn from it?
Our gold in SMR contest attracted a lot of attention from my colleagues in Ukraine. And the main lesson to learn for all of us is to help and to recommend our clients to make these before-after measurements, to be clear about what kind of impact you did, and to speak about loudly and maybe a bit louder than now for international community as well.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your project. Congratulations on the awards. I think it's a very, as I said in the beginning, very touching project, but also a very moving one. It's very inspirational, and I hope that whoever's listening to this can apply or can think of their day-to-day job or the next project that they'll work on a more impactful way, thanks to this project and the award and the conversation that we just had. So thank you so much, Jane.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here today.
And that's all for today, folks. Talking Insights is a production of Research World and SMR, bringing you the stories, voices, and ideas shaping the insights community around the world. If you'd like to be featured in a future episode, share your story, or learn more about sponsoring opportunities, send us an email at podcast@smr.org. And don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. And join us next week for another great conversation. See ya!